Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're looking at something that's a bit new for me, Marvel Select figures. Now I've owned the Marvel Select figures in the past. I've got a Dr. Doom and an Elektra, but I've never actually done a review of these guys. But a good friend of mine, JT, happened to pick up Spider-Man recently and decided that he wanted to go ahead and let me review him for you guys. So that's what we're going to do today. Spider-Man was released by Diamond Select in 2014. Now, the Diamond Select figures, if you're not familiar with them, are in the 7-inch scale and typically feature less articulation than something like a Marvel Legends figure, but they usually make up for that with detail and display bases. And as you can see here, we do have a pretty nicely detailed Spider-Man figure with the base packed in behind him. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and kick things off by taking a look at that packaging. As you come down the front of this packaging, you are going to see a massive blister bubble packaging that this Spider-Man figure is housed inside. Inside the packaging, we see the Spider-Man figure and his display base, and off to the left-hand side, you do see the name for the figure, as well as the Marvel Select logo, and even a bit of webbing there on top of the blister bubble. Turning this package to the side, you can see a comic book panel that does feature artwork of Spider-Man from the comics. And as we flip this package around, coming down the back of the package, you do see an image of this Spider-Man figure on display, as well as a bio for this figure. Go ahead and pause now to read that. We then see some other figures currently available from Diamond Select, and finally just the legal stuff there at the bottom. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get Spidey out of the box and see what he's all about. Alright toy fans, here we have Spider-Man out of the box, and immediately what I like about this figure is the way that they've sculpted his musculature. Now Spider-Man is a slender, more gaunt style superhero, and this definitely shows on this figure's sculpt. He's got a smaller waist, and he's got some smaller rib muscles here. His biceps are kind of lean. His quadriceps are definitely smaller. Just overall though, I like the way that they've handled the legs for this figure, the body, the arms, the shoulders, every bit of them here. And then outside of the musculature sculpting, we see the sculpted web pattern on the mask. We see that the eyes have actually been sculpted. He's got the sculpted webbing coming down the chest, on the belt, on the gloves, on the boots. And he's painted in all the right places the way he should be. Blue for the legs, red and blue for the torso, red on the gloves, red on the boots. And then if we take a look at the mask here, he does have white painted on the eyes. There's a little bit of paint slap here on the side of this eye, which isn't too bad. And then of course he's got a painted black spider on the chest here. Now for the webbing, they've actually done a black wash to just kind of fill in all the line work. So overall, really, this is exactly what you expect to see from a Spider-Man figure. I have no complaints here. Moving on to accessories, we can see that Spider-Man does come with this crushed car display base. Now, let me first say, I think a crushed car may have been more appropriate for a character like the Hulk, but I do like what Spider-Man has here. As you take a look at this car base, you'll see that it does have sculpted wheels here that even have the treads sculpted into them. The hubcaps have been painted. You can see here that there's some smashed headlights. You've got the grille of the car, and then this has been painted in here. Got the license plate. Coming around, you can see all these dent marks. The windshield has got some dirt on it, and it's sculpted. Every shard of glass there is sculpted. And coming around here, we can see some more paint for windows. There's the handle. The back of the car here, you see the back windshield, the spoiler, and then the license plate here. I mean, this is a really, really nicely made display base. And if you flip it underneath here, it is completely hollow. But so it's nice lightweight. You can position it anywhere pretty nicely. And then this base actually has these pegs on the top of it. And the Spider-Man figure has peg holes in the bottom of his feet, so you can actually pretty easily just kind of put his foot right on top of the hole there. And it's pretty easy to get Spider-Man positioned on top of this car display base and poise in some dynamic action shots. Moving on to articulation, you can see that this Spider-Man figure does have a head that'll rotate left and right. It barely looks up and it looks down just a bit. He's got a rotation at the shoulder that does spin all the way around. It bends out and up from the body that far. There is no upper bicep swivel, but he does have a joint here at the elbow that'll bend down that far and bend back that far. And it does rotate left and right at the elbow. He's got a rotation here at the wrist, and then no actual hinge to bend up or down. He's got that same articulation here on the other side, but note that this hand is in the web firing position. He's got a full rotation here at the waist. He's got a hip joint that allows his leg to move forward that far, move back that far, and then he has a hip joint that allows his leg to move out from the body just a little bit like that. And then he does have a joint at the knee that bends down that far, bends up that far, does rotate left and right. And then he's got an ankle hinge that'll bend his leg back that far and his foot forward that far, but there is no actual ankle pivot. So not quite the amount of range that we're used to with a Marvel Legends type figure, but still a great range of motion overall. Height-wise, we can see that this Spider-Man figure does come in at just under 7 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have the Marvel Select Spider-Man figure compared to the Marvel Select Elektra figure. And here he is compared to the Marvel Select Dr. Doom figure. And here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man figure, also released in 2014. And finally, here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. Alright toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Select Spider-Man figure released by Diamond Select Toys in 2014. Overall, I think this is a pretty good Spider-Man figure. He comes with an awesome display base. I like the way that the paint and the sculpting work has been done on this figure. And really, if I had to pick one complaint about this guy at all, it's that I wish he had a bit more articulation. But that's just me, a Marvel Legends collector, comparing him to what I'm used to, and maybe that's not fair. But if you're looking to get into the Marvel Select toy line, this Spider-Man figure is a great way to get started. Well, that's my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to JT for letting me borrow this figure for my review. If you guys like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.